family.
That's how we're starting, with that sound clip right there. So, welcome to this week's episode of The Lad and Dad. It's episode number 10.
I don't know. I'm not keeping track anymore.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's number 10.
That's a you job. Everything. Yeah. Whoa, that was close. Everything's a you job.
It's number 10, which is crazy because neither of us have given up yet. It's mental. So, what's new? You don't have to read it like a script, mate. Jesus fuck.
Oh no, I'm just trying to think. Not really anything, to be fair. It's been a very chill week, hasn't it?
Well, chill. You get to chill because you don't do fuck all.
I do fuck all. Wait. Do fuck all. Do. Fuck me. Right. It's not just me giggling at it, at least. I'm not. I haven't really done anything this week, no.
Yeah.
What about you? Was Alton Towers this week or was that last week?
That was last week.
That was last week.
Didn't we?
Did we?
Yeah, because your mum went on roller coaster.
You think he'd be the one with CTE, but here we are.
Yep. So you forgot to do your little review on some food that you ate last week, and they asked you to review. So I'm going to leave this to you.
I think I had it after last week's episode. Was it not? Was it not?
Definitely
right.
not.
Just bake it again, obviously. I think it's like the only food place near this gym that's good. There's a few actually, but
there's a few around here, yeah.
When did we go? When was it? I think we just kind of. I think
it was the day before we recorded.
It was
it was the day we recorded, wasn't it? Because it was just after we'd recorded.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And yeah, we just went, fuck it, let's go. It's around the corner. And I went in with the intention of getting a brownie. Then I saw loaded chips and somehow ended up with a wrap that had a burger, cheese and chips in it. It was very good.
Very good. Is that as descriptive as you're getting?
It tasted like a burger. It was good. I don't know. But you think I was going to get anything in creative writing in English? Like, no, is the answer to that. I'm not very clever.
So out of 10, what would you give it?
9.
9 out of 10?
Yeah.
So I realised when you were giving your opinion of the brownies, you said just a brownie on its own, I think, was a 7, but the one with the ripple on was a 6. How is that possible for it to go down?
Because
if it's had the same quality of brownie
ripple
on it?
is boring and shit, and I stand by that. I don't care what anybody says. It's a boring chocolate. It's a flake, but worse.
No.
Yeah.
Get in the bin.
No, I'm good.
So, while you were at work, you also got Just Bake It delivered to you, didn't you?
Yeah. And then I did get the loaded chips I thought about. Cheese and bacon on them. Autistic as possible. And very good.
Very good. Wow.
Tasted like cheese, chips and bacon. But good cheese, chips and bacon. There you go.
Well, there you go. So, yeah, Just Bake It. Go and visit them. And there's no sponsored paid advert here. It's just an opinion of his today.
Opinion of mine of very good.
But they are very good.
If I was paid to do it, I'd think about it. And I might say more than 4 words. A wink wink.
Free food.
But yeah, very good. Thumbs up. I keep doing that now. I don't know. That's 3 times in... Oh my God, you're timing it.
I'm timing it, yeah.
I only just realised that. 3 minutes, and really going to hold this out so I can do 3 minutes and 50 seconds. There you go. Bang.
So, yeah, we're just going to beg you to like, share, subscribe, rate, and do all the podcast platform thingies and all the other shit that we ask you to do every week, which you should be used to us asking if you watch regular. And if you're not, then do that shit. And then we've got some shows to plug. 2 of them.
2 of them?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to do them in reverse order because nothing's been announced for the one we're going to say about now, which is July the 5th.
I'm on the poster.
You're on your first poster.
I know, right? Magical.
So you can tell us about the show.
It's FFW versus PPW at the X-Church in Gainsborough. I don't think anything's been announced.
Nothing has been announced yet.
Although you can kind of put some pieces together of what's been going to be at the show. I'm pretty sure Nathan Black's there, isn't he?
He is.
Liam Slater.
He is
doing a seminar, so you might
before the show. Yeah.
Before the show, you might see him on the show. No
It'd be
guarantees.
weird to do a seminar during the show.
Well,
no, I don't think it's ever been done.
That's the only creative idea he'd ever pitched. That.
Yeah, it should be an interesting one. And again, it was set up at Thundergraps. So some business going ahead with PPW, which is good to be working with another new company. So the show that there has been a lot announced for.
Another new company. We've been about a decade now.
No, we've not worked with them, you div.
Oh, right. I thought you were saying like another new company as if we were also new.
No. Wow.
Wow.
And I'm your homeschool educator.
I'm having the most boring long week you've ever seen. I don't know what's going on.
June 28th, 1NK.
Quickly segue.
The Book of Morgan.
I named it. I'm going to mention it every time because it's the best name of a show like ever.
You said last week that the first match announcement was one that wasn't the first match announcement. So what is the first match announcement? Or what was the first match?
KD versus Maxwell for the junior title, and Maxwell's putting his Fight Factory career on the line.
That is true. Yeah. So
I remember stuff sometimes.
There'll either be a title change or there'll be someone leaving, that'd be interesting.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's exciting. And then we've got an Anarchy match, which is
Visage, Jack Knudsen, and Hardman Dan for the Anarchy title, or HMD,
which we spoke about again last week. Then we've got the note says Morgan v Harry. It's not Morgan v Harry. It's Rogan v Harry.
At least you remember that.
So Rogan v Harry Johnson, and there's going to be a broken jaw apparently if you refer back to Rogan's episode.
Good episode that. Fuck Argos.
And then we've got Kaya returning to face Malika, which again we spoke about last week. I don't think there's been any other matches announced, bar the one with today's guest. So what is that match?
Jason Morgan, former World Heavyweight Champion, not anymore. Versus our guest today, the King, Damien Valentine.
Who is also a former tag team champion.
I was already setting up a segue then. So you could talk about it.
Whatever other championships you've had, which I can't remember.
Junior heavyweight and the tag team. Also, I was FFW Newcomer of the Year and number 3 UK Newcomer of the Year. Also,
there we go.
You'll never sing that.
So welcome.
Thank you.
Seems a bit formal considering we.
You've been sat
around.
Yes.
A bit formal because you've sat there giggling the entire time. That's
I've learned how I can turn his mic off.
Oh, have you?
Wow. Post, yeah, so
that's
they won't hear that.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
So, what have you been up to?
Well, first of all, I was just admiring this piece of beauty.
Yeah, I realised I've missed a little bit of colouring near the heart on your pants. There's a little white patch.
Yeah.
So you have, and on the boot.
I was just looking at the face. And
that entire
and how great he looks.
Actually.
How great he looks.
So the tattoos, the accuracy of them.
They're brilliant.
Because they are the original drawings of the stencils I did when I did the tattoos.
They're really good.
So, though I've just realised I did miss the yin yang one.
Yeah, you did.
God damn it, I'm going to have to start
I didn't notice that till now either.
Yeah, I mean, by the looks of the drawing, you don't notice a lot. Looking at them eyes, like, he's not done you any favours there, has he?
Why?
It just doesn't look to be a lot going on behind him in the drawing.
It's from one of the photos from your sister, and he was looking right angry.
Yeah, he looks great. Get off his case.
I missed the neck tattoo as well. God damn it!
Oh yeah.
I give up with this shit now.
I forget which ones I've got and which ones I haven't.
So what else? What you been up to?
Well, training hard, as is always the case, in the gym and in my own time, which I think is important for anyone. You know, whether they're wanting to do it as a hobby or they're wanting to take it further, I think you need to put the effort and the road work in outside of the gym in your own time also. So, yeah, you know, just enjoying being back, really. I was a long time gone, and I'm just enjoying being back amongst my people. That's what it feels like. Feels like my people. Slotted straight back in. Which is always a way here, I find, anyway. People who, when I've been here, who've come and gone, slot back in easy. Yeah, just enjoying being back. Just needed that adrenaline rush again. Needed to, you know, felt like I was missing out on something, and You know,
I mean, you've been taking back bumps on your bed and sofa.
Exactly.
The last God knows how long
and you
while
know,
were
on the
gone.
street, casino floors, just wherever I could, really.
Casino floors, we can tell that in funny stories if you want.
We can, absolutely, yes, we can. So you know, I was just missing that little spark, I feel, and then you know, the first training session back, I was like, yeah, this is it.
The first one
this is the one.
that was like with everyone, or the first one where you blew your knee out.
The first one where I blew my knee out, which is why I continued after I blew my knee out, because I was enjoying it that much. So yeah, that's the king back amongst it.
It's good, like with you coming back, it seems to have brought new life into a few of the other guys as well, because they see you come in, you know, the way you look and everything, and you can see their gym routines changing, and their effort is like, oh shit, he's come straight back in. We need to earn our spots, and I think that the way it works here, and I know a few other training places have that competition breeds, you know, more competition. Like they want the spots, and it's all good friendly banter, but everyone's trying to make everyone better, and then you know everyone's now like, shit, okay, that's an extra space gone, and I think it's been fun to see some people who've not experienced that yet.
Yeah.
Sort of pick up the ball and go, shit, okay, this is what I need to do, and more people are pitching ideas to Becca, and yeah, it's been good.
Yeah, you know, I think competition is healthy and needed. You know, you only look at, say, football, for example. Sometimes a team will buy, you know, a sub player, and they're like, why have they bought them? And it's like, well, you know, it's competition. People get their place cemented, and you know they can get lackluster and be like.
And also sometimes people blow their knee out.
Sometimes people blow their knee out, but you know people can be thinking, you know, I don't need to do out. You know, I'm set in stone, I'm comfortable here. Why push myself? And then all of a sudden, someone comes in who's vying for their place, maybe training a little bit harder than them. You know, maybe knows, you know, little corners that they don't. All of a sudden, they're getting pushed. And you know, like I said to you, Hayden and Becca, before I came. I'm here to do whatever is needed, you know. I come here with no ego, as has always been the way. And, you know, if I can help push people on, then that's better for the company, you know. I'm not taking anything from the company. I'm here to give back to the company. I'm not coming in as a spring chicken like I did before. I don't know.
You're not exactly like 50, are you?
I'm not 50, but, you know, the body breaks down, as you know, and I don't know how many years I'll have left. So I've just come to enjoy it, and you know, if I can, you know, get bums in seats and you know make money, and I would say, you know, one of my things is I like promoting the company. I like doing the videos, you know, I like doing the funny things to get people not to notice me as such, but through noticing me, notice the company.
Yeah.
And want to come watch, whether that's they want to come see me get beat up because I've been really annoying them, or you know they want to come see the Righteous King do his thing. Then you know that's money for you. So you know that's what I'm here for, as long as I can. And you know, if I push the other people on, then you know so be it. Even if they leave me in the dust, it's not about me; it's about the company.
Yeah. It's saying that, it just reminds me of a couple of the promo videos you did the first time round where
didn't you jump in horse shit?
I did. Got thrown, but yeah.
And then you pitched an idea of being thrown in a lake.
I did want to get thrown
in October,
in a lake. Yeah.
When we were like, you will die. It'll be fine. It'll be worth it for the camera. No, don't do that. And that's when you went in the horse shit.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Oh, Mr. Magic Myers. Welcome to the King's establishment. How do you do? So, Mr. Magic, I believe you are a magician? Could you bend a spoon for the king? Entertain me. It's true. You are magic. Walk with me, Mr. Paul Daniels. So, Mr. Magic, this is a horse. Do you have horses where you're from? Think of them as dogs, only bigger. Would you like to stroke the dog? I thought you'd be afraid, Mr. Magic Myers. Say, who's a good boy then? Say, who's a good boy? What? Come on. Walk with me, Mr. David Blaine. So this, Mr. Magic Myers, is a stable.
I suspect it looks quite familiar to you, possibly like your living quarters. Walk with me, Mr. Darren Brown. Well, Mr. Magic Myers, what a day. I suspect this has probably been the best day of your life. You have got to spend the day with royalty, with the handsome one. Now you see, Mr. Magic Myers, how a real king lives. You see, a king is above a prince. So, therefore, Mr. Magic Myers, I am above... Ah!
It takes more than a few horses and a lake to impress the junior heavyweight champion of Fight Factory Wrestling. I'll tell you what, Damien Valentine. I'll see you on the 28th of October at 1NK. But do me a favour, have a wash.
You vile peasant! And the king! How dare you do that to the king? I'm furious! October the 28th at 1NK, your title, the Junior Heavyweight Championship, will be mine!
The horse manure was an alternative, a better alternative.
How is that? And how does that end up being the fucking better alternative? Jumping in horse shit.
Because an October lake is not so pretty.
No, I'm more on about why are two ideas so crazy that the horse shit is like, oh yeah, that's quite sensible. That
Because the king was being such a jerk at the time, he needed some get back, and he needed some get back bat. So I'm a man of the people.
You've had a couple of matches since coming back.
Mm-hmm.
You've got one coming up in, oh God, where will it be? 2 weeks? 3 weeks?
When's this going up?
Well, hopefully tomorrow.
Hopefully tomorrow.
Yeah,
2 weeks then.
It's Friday today.
Yeah,
so
be
2 days.
The day after, yeah. Dickhead.
He's giving himself a time constraint he doesn't have it.
I got to do drawings if he mentions people's names. So, yeah.
Quick, rattle them out.
The matches you've had so far, any standout, anyone you want to face, and then a little bit about who you've got on June the
28th. First one back was pretty special against KD. Me and KD have had a lot of history.
Mm-hmm.
We actually watched your first match with him last night in training.
Oh, you did my first match back, or my first ever match?
Your first ever match with Kieran.
Ooh, I probably can't even remember. What
It
was
was
that?
you, Dalton Chase, and KD.
I remember. Yeah.
Within 3.5 minutes of the match, KD had broken his finger
Mm-hmm.
and then got kicked in the face while trying to put his finger back into socket.
Yeah.
And then you tried to slide out at
Got
about
stuck
7
in the
minutes
apron.
and got stuck in the apron and the rope.
Yeah.
And then KD went for the finish on Dalton, and Dalton rolled out the ring.
Yes.
And you stood there like, where the fuck's he going?
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. I remember getting stuck in the apron because I think that was the last time I did the slide out slap, pretty much, and started jumping over doing a slap just to be safe. Yeah, I remember that. I remember for the we had a triple chin lock as well.
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember the picture of that one.
How does that even work?
Well,
Double
because
chin lock in it, 3 people.
yeah, double essentially. KD had got Dalton, and then I had got KD. I believe it was that way around. So
Do you know what? That means you have to find footage of it, mate. Unlucky.
I found the footage. We watched it last night at training.
Oh,
There you
Just
go.
like that.
shit. Need
So-
to re-Google it.
yeah, so we've had a lot of fantastic matches. Me and Kieran, alongside you and Kieran and me and Laurie, we had a lot of good matches as well. The 4 of us that always stick in my mind. So the first one back was special because it was comfortability for me. I know how KD worked. KD knows how I work. We've known each other for so many years, and done so much together that it was like an old friend, like being in there with an old friend. So that was really special, and there was a lot of people to see the Righteous One. So the noise was echoing all throughout
Great
1NK.
reaction, yeah.
Fantastic reaction. I couldn't have asked for better. And then there was a lot of people queuing up for the pictures. It just felt great from start to finish. So that was pretty special. Also, I really enjoyed working with Ryan. As I said, when we worked on,
Insert clip of me getting chopped to shit. Again.
insert clip. Get that down, you.
Yeah, that was fun.
You know, because it was me who pitched it to you that I'd really like to work with him. You know, because then I kind of gone through the generations. Really, it feels like now. There's only one left. There's only one left.
What, my Opa?
No, I don't want a loss there. Thank you very much.
No, it's just TJ you haven't wrestled, right?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You and Laurie were against Kaya and insert partner's name here who came and went, and we can't remember his name. Jack. It's definitely Jack, because everyone here seems to be called Jack.
Jack Needham.
That's it.
Jack Needham.
Yeah.
Jack Needham.
Maybe. I think it rings a bell.
Yeah. So I wanted to work with you, and you know, I'd seen how you'd been in training, and I'd said to Hayden and Becca on the side that, you know, I think you've got a good future. Your brain works really well. You can tell it's been passed down, and when you throw some of the flippy stuff out the window, you've actually got a very good mind for the, you know, for how the match works. So it was really good to work with you, and you know, obviously I'm coming back as it feels like I'm repackaged coming back, because you know, when I'm in training, I'm kind of the one leading the matches more, as you know, whereas that wasn't the case before, and you know, I'm the one calling stuff instead of it being called to me. So you know, it's a new challenge, and that's why I wanted to work with you.
We've got a few young ones as well that are coming through that when you were here before, they were in the juniors class.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is frightening, isn't it?
Yeah.
When did you first leave? Was it 2019? It was just before COVID, wasn't it?
I think just after I had the last body slams.
21.
Yeah, I think when we got crowds back in for the last body slams.
I'm trying to think. 21, I would have been like 11, 12.
Yeah. Crazy.
Maybe.
Yeah, but like you were doing some of the kids' classes.
I was coaching,
you were coaching them,
I was.
And now from that crop, there's Malika, Harry Johnson, Carter, Ian because he was there a little bit, TJ because he was there a little bit. Am I forgetting anyone? I don't want to forget anyone. Who's come up through that group?
A few of them have.
A few left. I think they're the main core of them, aren't they? And I'm really sorry if I've forgotten anybody.
How's my phone going?
So, yeah, is there anybody you look at and you go, right, I won't mind working with them?
Yeah, Carter is actually one I'd really like to work with. Just watching him in training, you know, even though he's essentially so early in his career as in being on shows regularly, he's able to call things, you know, and, you know, he's able to do things on the fly, which is quite rare for that age and, you know, that experience. And he's just smooth. He's such he's a smooth worker. You know, he's quick with what he does, but he's not erratic. And you know, sometimes that can be a fine line. You know, when you're trying to do things quick, sometimes you know it's a bit sketchy, a bit rough around the edges, but he's smooth with it. You know, Carter's one I'd really like to work with. You know, I want to work with everyone. You know, especially the people who I haven't worked with yet. Microphone, I think, is really showing a lot. Yeah, you know, there's so many aspects of his character that reminds me of my character, especially as I was starting out. You know, so brash, arrogant, flashy, big, pizzazz.
It's how quickly he's settled into it as well. Like he's only been on shows what, a year and a half now.
Yeah, but he solidly did a lot of camp shows, didn't he? Like, he was there,
which you can
twice,
tell
3 times
and
a week.
Yeah, I mean you can see because he's really settled into himself quite quickly, and I mean I think he's had some pretty decent matches.
Yeah, I read online somewhere recently. A couple of people have said it over the years, and it never really registered until I read it the other day. And it was people taking the piss out of camp show wrestling. I'm like, I just do not get that mentality, because there is your chance to try things, and you're really learning to work with an audience because they're not paying to be there. You know, it might be shitty weather outside, it might be nothing going on. They're in this caravan as a family. They might have just had an argument like, let's just fucking do something, get out of this place. And they come to watch it, and some of them are there because they are wrestling fans, some of them are casual fans, some of them are just there because it's free entertainment, and you have to work to engage them. And you know, for him, you can see how well that's done because of how he is with an audience.
Especially the type of character he's got. He's just so suited for that camp show style. Isn't it?
It's perfect for camp shows. I think camp shows are absolutely vital in a wrestler's development because one of the hardest things to do is get a dad who is there, who doesn't care about wrestling, I don't know, only watches rugby or football, just doesn't know anything about wrestling, so won't know anything about the storylines, who is just there to appease the kids because they're annoying him all weekend, and he's not invested one bit. If you can get him to get on your case or get behind you, you've done it.
See, I had someone say, "Oh, mums too," and my counter to that is most of the time a mother is happy if the kid is happy.
Exactly. Whereas a dad,
yeah.
If a dad is eating sour grapes, you know he's eating sour grapes.
Yeah. And again, that's just a general. It's not all parents.
No.
You know, some parents can be like.
And I think it's more likely for, especially in England, I don't know what it's like overseas. I think it's way more likely for a dad to come to the show than go back to the pub and go, "Oh, I went to that wrestling the other day, lads. It was absolute shit."
Yeah, exactly.
Compared to
and you
a
know,
mum on the group chatting, "Oh, ladies, do you know what? I went to the wrestling. Incredible." I think it's way more
what women
likely.
do you talk to?
I don't know.
I don't know a
It's
woman who
way
speaks
more-
like that.
I don't know, but just
Is this an
it's
impression
way
of your
more.
girlfriend here?
It's way more likely for.
Or a mum? Are you dissing your girlfriend's mum?
You're saying words here.
Plead the fifth.
Plead the fifth. Yeah, that's it. But it's way more likely for a dad to go down to the pub and talk about it than it is.
You know, the dad is probably going to go there, you know, thinking he might, someone who watches boxing or someone who watches UFC, right, I'm off to see some people oiled up play fighting. What on earth am I doing here? I'm doing it for the kids. You know, I don't want to be here.
It'll never be as good as when Austin were doing it when I were a lad, so I don't watch it anymore and all that stuff.
There you go. Oh, they're not giant haystacks. You know, I'm not interested.
That'd be the grandparents now.
Yeah, that would be the grandparents, different generation. But you know, they can be the ones. If you can get them hooked, even just for a minute or two, you know, then you've done right.
Also, you saying that would be the grandparents now. You watched Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks when you were a kid.
Only the tail end. I'm not that old.
Yeah, you still watched it.
Yeah, no, I do.
Are you calling yourself the grandparent?
I still watch a lot of that stuff today.
Yeah, but you watched it live. In black and white.
Not because TV's in black and white. My grandparents had black and white TV. That's all that is. I need to clarify that bit. So yeah, there's a couple of people you want to work. You won't mind working with everybody, essentially.
Exactly.
So what about Jason Morgan?
Do we have to talk about it now?
Yeah, why not?
If you want.
Sod it.
As a non-wrestler anymore, I'm excited to see that.
As a non-wrestler, you had a match on the same camp show that I worked in.
Only but out of necessity. I'm still injured. I'm still on the written off list. But I'm excited to see it.
Okay.
So your thoughts on it?
Right. So first and foremost, the King would like to apologise for what is about to be said because it's not how the Righteous One conducts himself. But Jason Morgan, fucking die.
Wow.
Okay. So, the Book of Morgan, that's what it's called on the 28th, right? The Book of Morgan. If there was a Book of Morgan, there'd be 2 chapters. Chapter 1 would be the wrongdoings of Jason Morgan. It would be a huge chapter. Plotting, scheming, bullying, attacking people from behind, doing everything you shouldn't do as a human being. A vile, vile man. Chapter number 2 would be the revenge of the King. This would be a shorter tale, but trust me, it would be bloody. And that's because the merciful King would not be in this chapter. The merciful King was left down there when he was rendered unconscious by Jason Morgan. For those who haven't seen it, I'm sure he'll be everywhere. Jason Morgan attacked the King from behind, you know, when he was distracted.
I think we can roll the tape.
Good lords and ladies, huzzah! I shall see you on the other side. Oh, the King is a sweaty mess, but my God, what a great training session. Oh, hello, good sir. How are they?
You melt.
Melt?
I'm not going to shake your hand.
Why not, good
Next
sir?
show, Jason Morgan
Yes?
is going to kick your head
Jason Morgan is not going to kick the King's head in, I assure you. He's out.
What a melt.
Bloody hell.
Left him unconscious. There's a merciful king. So, the king's revenge is going to be swift. It's going to be brutal. And I apologise to Hayden because this is one of the trainees that has come up through FFW, but the king's going to have to hurt that man.
Well, playing devil's advocate, I've had my issues with Morgan in the past, but some might say you've poked the bear because
didn't you call him Megamind?
You've done some social media posts. You've compared him to Megamind, and then you got the dummy and had a fight with the dummy, calling it Jason Morgan. So two sides. I'm not taking his side. I'm just putting it out there as people.
Well, if the shoe fits, one might say, and the reason for that is because I don't accept bullies. I don't, and never have, never condone it. And when you're running into people like Maxwell who have had a tough match and you go in there and, choke slam them half to death, what are you gaining from that? Why are you doing that? What message are you sending other than, you've got no morals? You're not a nice man. So I went in the intention of there just to break it up. I didn't go in there with my fist clenched. I wasn't the one who struck first. He hit the king first. The king was a retaliation. If you want to play, let's play ball. That was all I was doing. That was my retaliation. He just took it up a notch now.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I think it's going to be a very hard-hitting match, and burp count number 1. I feel sorry for the referee in the match.
Wow.
I think one of the key points for me, and this may come as a surprise point to make, I think it not having a stipulation towards it, not having weapons in, and it's just two men who don't like each other kicking the piss out of each other, I think it'll be a great watch.
Valentine is vengeance, and let the righteous prevail is all I'll say now from that.
Wow, I'm excited. Can't wait to see it. So let's take it away from that. A little chat about football, because that was brought up.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
You're the opposite to me. Oh, I knew I was supposed to do something. I was going to wear
what was you gonna do?
Winners 25 shirt and the Spurs one. So,
hopefully it's in the bin, isn't it?
You support the worst team in London at the minute, right?
I'm not sure I support West Ham, but I am a Gooner. It was Dennis Bergkamp that got me supporting Arsenal. I was about 6 years old. I remember it to this day, yeah. One of Holland's best players, along with Van Basten, Cruyff, so forth. About 6 years old, I was watching Arsenal v Man United on Sky Sports, and Dennis Bergkamp was just running the show. Absolute magician. First touch, world class. Just potting balls around, just owning the pitch, basically. And I was like, wow, yeah, he's incredible. What a team that is, because we had the likes of Tony Adams, David Seaman, also backing him up, Patrick Vieira, Emmanuel Petit. Just
back when goalkeeper shirts were great as well, right?
I had that goalkeeper shirt. I had David Seaman's goalkeeper shirt, because in my back garden I had a goal post. And
just the post?
Well, the netting as well. You call it a goal post. What would you call it?
A goal?
Right, okay. Touche. Yeah, so we had a goal post and a net, also known as a goal.
And a crossbar then?
And a crossbar, yeah. We joint the dots. And I had it in my back garden, and I had the David Seaman shirt, and I remember it was rascal. It's
not the first time you've had Seaman on your shirt, is it?
Second. But that was also due with Holland, but I digress. It was all purple with silver, and it had, like, Deirdre Barlow shoulder pads on here and on the elbow pads. Yeah, and had Umbro little flimsy glove that always used to bend my fingers back, and used to get my mates around and pretend to be David Seaman. What a team.
Any Arsenal fan my age grew up with Granit Xhaka when they were 8 years old. So
no, ours was a different class. Was our team. Ours was a different class.
So obviously where my dad lives. So where we grew up, the neighbours to the right, the neighbours but one, and the neighbours two to the left, they were all Arsenal fans. My dad's an Arsenal fan, and then it's just Kieran and me who were Spurs fans.
Had to be different, didn't you?
Yeah.
Absolutely had to be different.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, for Spurs, it was watching Gaza and Lineker and Mabba and
Ginola.
Back then, again, Spurs have always had good teams. Just never been able to produce shit.
No.
Like you look at some of the players that they've had, like
Luka Modric and Gareth Bale on the same
Yeah,
team.
incredible. Ginola, incredible.
There's been so many over the years. Sheringham,
Musa Dembele.
There's so many that were great players, great teams, and years of disappointment. And now I'm quite happy to
Ledley
smile
King
and
another one.
admit to being a Spurs fan
But
again.
you're smiling, but if this was a different season, you'd have been in a relegation battle. It's only because the bottom three were so bad.
They'd have been out.
It's just been a crazy season.
I think the gap between the Prem and the Championship is just
It's
too far
much.
gone now.
Once every Championship team is yo-yoing.
I think every season for the next 5 years, all the Championship teams will go straight back down.
Of course.
Leeds
yo-yoing.
might give it a crack because they've got quite a bit of money.
I think Leeds will stay up just because they can draw players because of their name more than like Burnley.
Yeah, I think Sunderland need a lot of improving, but they've got a very promising young side.
Fuck Sunderland.
I mean,
Why?
why?
Why not?
No.
I do like Sunderland's team. I watched them in the Championship player final. They've got that Isidore, that Mayenda. They're both very good young players.
Lost
He
Bellingham
doesn't have
now,
a clue
though,
who any
haven't
of
they?
these are.
Well, they've lost Bellingham.
Yeah, to
Yeah,
Dortmund.
He's gone. Yeah.
He's a very good player.
Big loss for him.
People keep talking about Job and saying it's just because of his brother's name. Well, one of the biggest clubs in Europe have just signed him for 30 million quid. So,
yeah.
How sad is it that it's cheaper to go to a Dortmund game and fly over there for two people than it is to sometimes go to a League One game?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, even Lincoln City, 25.
Yeah, but if you're travelling, you go all the way down south to a game, you add in the fuel cost, the price of your tickets, it can be cheaper to go to East Midlands, fly over
if
to
we were
Germany and
to
watch a
go
game.
away to like Port Vale, they're Stoke area, aren't they? It'd probably still be quite spenny.
It's only a 2-hour drive.
You know, the costs are crazy, but price hike and everything. But people are always going to pay. It's just like WWE. People are kicking off because the ticket prices are going to go up so much. They've gone up an insane amount. But like peasants across the world saying, right, I'm boycotting it. They don't care. Big corporate
You weren't
companies
going
don't care.
anyway.
Yeah, people are still going to come through the door. They're just it might be different clientele, but they're still getting that revolving ticket door. They don't care.
Yeah.
It's all money in it.
But going on League One, you still follow Lincoln. How many games did you get to last year?
Well, I didn't get to as much, 5 or 6 maybe.
Yeah.
But I used to when I was younger, I used to go a lot because you used to sort of play in the academy, and then sometimes you'd get free tickets, and then my mum's work, they sponsored them, so we used to get free tickets. But it's ironic because the first ever Lincoln City match I went to was against Man City, which was Division 3, now League 2. And the captain of Lincoln City at the time was Dean Wallen, who also played for Leeds. And that was the first ever match I watched because I remember shouting, "Come on, City!" And my mum was like, "You're an idiot. They're both called City." I was like, "All right, just break me in gently, Mum. It's my first match." But then I ended up working for Dean Walling for 8 years and being his right-hand man when I was coaching football around Lincolnshire. So it's quite ironic. when I first started to work for him, I was like, my first ever pro match was watching you against Man City. And like Darren Huckabee was playing and that. We're going back a long time now. When you probably weren't even a thought. What a great life Hayden would have had then.
How old would you have been at what City you were? Division 2, that would have been like 99?
Division 3.
Division 3, was it?
Yeah. Probably about 95, maybe?
95 I'd have been like 14, 15.
Crazy.
I think.
I'm 14.
I don't do maths.
I'm 16 this year.
Crazy. That's crazy for me. It must be crazy for you. You must feel like Jurassic.
It's not even because I was he's watched me grow up or anything. It's just because he can remember when he was my age.
How, with the amount of drugs I used to take?
Cut.
I do
Some
not.
of the stuff I used to do at that age.
I do not participate in said activities because I'm not an idiot like this man. That.
So, because I don't think we've had a Lincoln fan in yet, a fellow Lincoln fan. So
Harry
if
Johnson.
You could pick, oh shit, yeah, we never asked him this. But this is just something I'm asking on the fly. If you could pick some players from Lincoln in the past few seasons to become wrestlers,
Matt Reed.
who would they be?
Matt Reed would be a good one.
Call,
Ben House for his clothesline.
He's belly
His
to
suplex that he did. Do you know? Trying to think.
You're gonna have to draw all
Can
these.
you remember back in the day, Lee Thorpe? He used to love a tear up.
Yeah,
He got sent off. I remember being at a match and someone fouled him, and Lee Thorpe just full mounted him and just let it rain down on him. Got sent off.
Fleming used to be a bit fiery.
Terry
back in the
Fleming.
day, didn't he? Yeah.
Who else?
I mean, Yeo
Futcher.
said that he was quite a wrestling fan.
Was he?
Yeah.
I mean, he was quick, so he
Yeah.
would have been a high flyer.
Ex-Forces guy as well. isn't he?
Yeah.
So.
Can you remember Ben Futcher as well? He's about 6'6", 6'7", centre back. When it was Keith Alexander era,
Yeah.
he was he's just huge.
Sean Raggett, easy.
Sean
he
Raggett,
was
Gareth
a lump
McCauley
as
as well.
well.
He's
What
very
about
centre
from
back.
today? Well, not today because we might have lost a couple of players by the time this goes out.
Well, we've already lost Rowan.
Yeah.
O'Connor's leaving. He'd be a good shout.
See, I
but
would
he's
have
going.
probably said Paddy O'Connor. Yeah,
Yeah.
he would have been a good one.
I'm saying would have been like he's
Fiery
dead.
in a
He's
great
still.
way.
Yeah.
No, but he might,
he's still
he might
here.
be leaving
Like,
Lincoln. So.
I can't really think. Maybe Motsma just because he's got the look.
Monsmer, yeah.
He's quite charismatic looking fellow, isn't he? So
Yeah.
he would probably do well.
I think we had this conversation before. I'd love to see McCammer.
Yeah.
Because
Freddie Draper, he's just
or
a
Draper,
lump
yeah,
in it.
two
It was a
big lads
fantastic shout.
who
Especially at what is
give him
he,
some
19?
aggression in a wrestling ring.
Yeah.
Freddie Draper's like 19, 20, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's young.
Like,
What-
if
But
he,
so's McCammer.
Yeah, and what is he?
McCammer went
6'5"?
to
He's-
college.
he's just
from what I know,
huge.
went to college with a guy who used to train here, Liam.
Did he really?
Yeah.
Because what's he like? 6'5"?
McCammer, he's very big.
Yeah, he's tall.
Very
isn't he?
big.
Yeah.
Yeah, just imagine being like 19, 20 years old. That big, you got into wrestling.
Yeah, made.
He's
Got it made, ain't
naturally
you?
athletic.
You'd be pushed
so-
to the sun, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. If he could transfer that athleticism from football to this,
Yeah,
or any of them.
Have it made.
But then again, there has been some footballers who have gone into wrestling and had
Adebayo
powers.
Akinfenwa.
You
What a
reckon?
player.
I thought you were
See,
swearing.
I was thinking from Lincoln, Delroy Facey. He was a unit.
Oh,
Remember
I
him?
I thought you were talking people who actually got over.
No,
to wrestling.
No, can you remember
Akin-
from Lincoln, Delroy Facey? He was a unit. Google him.
You know
He was a
Akinfenwa,
beast.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, big
No, but
guy.
I'm
He's
saying,
spoken
like,
about
there's been
wrestling
some who
before.
have gone. To
Yeah,
wrestling
who
and-
was it? Grant Holt? Did he?
Yeah. And then there was the German who went to NXT, the goalkeeper.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
what was he called?
I've forgotten.
I can't remember.
Big,
But also
big
there
one.
was an English goalkeeper who was in NXT
Yeah.
when Nia Jax was in there.
Oh, was there?
Yeah, he's now like a fitness model. Huge. I think he played for Preston in goal, maybe.
Maybe.
Oh, I think I actually remember reading that.
Yeah.
Or reading it, seeing the pictures.
Yeah, he was there. He was there for a bit, but then obviously didn't come to fruition. But no, I do remember the German one. I can even remember him. He had dark hair and Kurt, and
Yeah,
didn't he? Yeah,
He'd wear the
yeah,
little headband to keep it out his face.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. We'll have to find
It
out.
wouldn't shock me if some start coming through NXT developmental though. So
Yeah.
because I don't know what sports WWE do with their what's the program called where they get the not
Oh, I know what
failed
you mean,
college
but yeah.
athletes, but the
They have the contract where
they got like Bron Breakker and all that.
Yeah,
for
we
them.
got-
It wouldn't surprise me if they got some soccer players.
Yeah,
through
is it
also.
AEW got the ex-boxer, aren't they? The ex-Olympian boxer as well.
Yeah.
I mean, who was on that LFG? I mean, I don't think he was
Oh,
actually a
Holyfield's
Holyfield's kid.
son.
Yeah,
I don't know
of
if he
course,
was
yeah.
actually anything to do with boxing, but
Well,
I don't think his son was, but obviously his
Yeah.
dad was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, away from sports then.
Go.
The good stuff, the stuff we talk about most of the time,
Go.
both on here and when we're ever together.
Yeah.
Food. So, just some easy little questions. Your Tesco meal deal of choice. Have you got a cheat code for the Tesco meal deal?
I like the hoisin duck wraps.
Good shout.
I like them. And then, because, you know, they're like, what are they, a $5 now? And
To be honest, I asked this question. I haven't had a meal deal.
no.
You had one when we went to Hull.
What?
To film with Nathan, we stopped at that little Tesco. You had a meal deal.
No, we split a meal deal.
You still got one.
Yeah, but I
You
don't know
paid
what
for it.
was.
Yeah, I mean, they're not very filling, are they? So, you know, if I was to get one, it'd be like the hoisin duck, and then I'd have to get, like, some chicken bites alongside it.
Refrigerators.
Yeah.
Refrigerators
There's
get
Max
loads of
McCrory
mention,
straight
yeah.
And, you know, like a smoothie, just to thicken it up. Because, I mean, you don't get much for that price, do you?
Didn't they at one point do them grenade drinks as part of the meal deal? And they
Yeah.
seem to have...
And they did the
I don't
grenade
see
bars
them.
for probably about a week, and then I was like, no,
I don't
we're
know
losing
why
money here.
that's just made me think about the Weetabix drink and how weird an idea that is.
Never had it.
Why, like, Weetabix, the driest food on the planet. Oh, you know what? Let's make it into a drink. That-
Never even knew that was a thing.
No, I didn't know
I
this
say
thing.
things, and he makes me out the idiot. Ian,
I
but
didn't know it was a thing.
How do you not know there's a Weetabix drink?
I think you're making it up.
I'm not making it up. Get a
Oh,
picture of
goodness.
it up now. You know,
Nah.
do you know what?
It's not worth my time.
We always say that, oh, I'll do it post show, but no, I'm showing you the Weetabix drink now because you always do
I hope your
this.
battery dies.
It's going to be someone putting water and Weetabix in a blender.
No, it's an actual thing. It's an actual thing. Weetabix on the go.
Oh my god.
It's an
It
actual
genuinely is a
thing.
I can't imagine that's nice.
No, it's like the driest food on the planet, and there's loads of flavours of it.
Well, not for me, buddy.
No,
No.
doesn't work for me, brother.
What's your McDonald's meal of choice?
You see, I do like the. I won't really say I go so much for the meals because, to me, a lot of times chips are wasted calories. I want the meat, so it'd be like, I don't know, a triple cheeseburger
They're
and like
discontinuing that, aren't they?
2 wraps.
The triple cheeseburger.
Are they?
I think so, yeah.
That's an outrage.
Yeah.
Why are they doing that?
Don't know. But
So I remember when we used to do the cheat code of McDonald's when we were cutting, but we still wanted that a bit of glutton, was we'd get a double or triple cheese. No, I don't think it was even triple then. I wanted it out.
double,
It was
yeah.
double, but without the bun, and you know you'd get it in the pancake tray, so it's just
Yeah.
the meat and the cheese
And then
with
you
a
could
sauce.
get the chicken patty to go in it as well.
Fantastic.
So you got
That I did all. Yeah, I do like that.
that. Yeah. It's again like it's the sauce where you rely on the flavour. I say it every
Course.
week, but it is like you feel naughty, don't you? Just having like meat on a tray.
Absolutely.
from McDonald's, and what Kieran called it, the McDepression.
The depression. I mean, it's like you're in World War II again, and you know you can't get a hold of bread, but it's the bread is a lot of calories.
rationed McDonald's beef fatties.
But yeah, I'd have to say if I advocate one of them, it'd be Burger King burgers are a step above McDonald's for me. It's the flame grilled and they're thicker as well.
See, I used to always think before I sort of tried to learn about nutrition and stuff. So when I was probably his age, I'd always in my head think Burger King's got to be the healthier option because it's flame grilled, so the fat comes out of it.
It's
and
huge.
it's
The calories
horrendously
are
bad.
huge.
Yeah.
You're looking. I think is it 1,400 in the double bacon one.
That would be mainly the bacon, though, wouldn't it?
That's a lot. That is a lot.
Bacon's bad for you.
But
Fucking love
it's
bacon.
it's that flame grilled taste though. It's just makes
But
it that
isn't
one
it
step
flame grilled
above.
in the morning, then just microwaved?
Is it
That's what I
really?
heard, yeah. I
Wouldn't
could be wrong.
surprise me.
I've never worked at Burger King, but I'm sure I saw someone going, "Yeah, it's not actually what you think it is. They grill
Right.
it all in the morning through a conveyor burner,
Okay.
and then microwave it, and then you've got a microwaved patty."
Wonder what Gordon Ramsay thinks of that.
Again, it's been years. I can't remember when I last had a Burger King. If I'm totally honest, probably lockdown.
Yeah, it's
When
again.
everyone went, "Fuck it, let's just deliver everything."
Yeah, it costs a lot
Eat
more than
out to
McDonald's,
help
doesn't it?
out. I don't
Eat
know how
out
that
to
was
help
helping
out.
anyone, but yeah.
50% off, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we're all paying for it now.
Mm.
Cheat day. What do you do for your cheat day? I think I know some of the answers here. But...
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. I'm going to let these two talk about it because I really need a piss.
Cheat day
So,
is my
enjoy.
favourite day. I love a cheat day. Often my cheat day will be after a show because I've been strict up towards it. Everything on point diet wise, and then the Sunday after a show I will just let loose. So it varies, but a lot of times I would say like pancakes, bacon, maple syrup in the morning for breakfast, 10 out of 10. Then I love nachos, don't I? I've always loved my nachos. And then, yeah, you know, I'm a bit of a chocolate fiend, absolute chocolate fiend. So I could, if I was really wanting to go hell for leather, then I'd absolutely smash like a dairy milk, and then it'd probably be like a pizza. Yeah.
Pizza's my weakness.
Oh, honestly, it kills me. It kills me every time. It's my go-to as well. It's one of my go-tos, pizza or you know, I quite like a Chinese.
See, Chinese, when someone mentions it, yeah. But it's very rare I get that. I want Chinese. But pizza, oh my days.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
See,
we've got so 2 in Lincoln that I'll recommend all the time. Is Dough Loco.
I knew you'd say
and
that.
then Liberty Slice.
No, that one.
So let's go back to Amsterdam. When
is it the one in town, city centre?
Yeah, right,
grab a slice one.
That's the one.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
Just like when we were in Amsterdam, we'd go to all them places that were shit pizzas.
Yeah.
This one's actually really good, but the same deal. You go and buy a slice, or you can buy the whole thing.
Nice.
Oh, and they're good.
They're doing one up Steep Hill. So Huckleberries.
Yeah.
It's from. They also own Brown's Pie Shop.
Okay.
And they're doing a pizza one where it's like the grab a slice pizza one up Steep Hill, which, if you know Huckleberry's food and you know Brown's Pie Shop food, you know that is going to be
I'd be interested to find more about that.
a good one. Yeah. But yeah, pizza is normally... See, where's like your brother, he loves the Chinese as well, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He loves the Chinese.
Yeah, he's mad for a Chinese.
I'm back.
Chocolate-wise, though, just bake it, all them brownies and them cookie
Apart from
pies
Ripple one, Ripple's boring. That's the
Ripple's
first-
not boring.
It is so boring.
You should be hung, drawn, and quartered.
Why does everyone like Ripple?
It's great.
It is great.
It's boring.
It is great. Guess what I bought this
So
morning?
boring.
Guess what I bought this morning?
Ripple.
Pack of 4 of them.
Wow.
I cry about it.
So what? You looked at next to it was probably Milky Way, Snickers,
Milky Way.
Crunchy.
I'm not
and
4.
you decided
What do I want a
still
Milky
better
Way?
than a Ripple.
A Milky
I'm just
Way.
thinking shop layout. You've got the big bars. You probably got the bags like the Oreo bites and whatever. And you went, you know what? I'll get Ripple.
£2.
Out of
For
2
4
quid for
bars.
4 Ripple.
Say sorry.
That's a fucking rip off. That is.
There's I can't remember a bakery name. We used to get it loads.
We did.
I'm sure we've had it before, yeah, but...
Do you mean Bakehouse 42?
No.
Not that one.
Nah,
Simple?
fuck Simple.
I know what you're on about.
Yeah, we used to collect it
That's
from my house, didn't we? She goes around all the food markets and that.
And she used to do it in the town centre near the outdoor market. Yeah, I can't remember the name, but yeah.
They were great. They were
Does
Fantastic.
she still do them?
I think so, yeah. I just don't see on Instagram because I very rarely scroll anymore because I hate social
One
media.
called Sweet Treats, was it one of them? Sweet Treats?
No, Sweet Treats is up near me. It's actually the people who live opposite us. They've opened their shop
okay.
in Burton Road.
Right, okay.
So, yeah. Well, another thing we used to talk about cheat day was cereals.
Oh,
So,
yes.
This is
'cause
a
we
recurring
posted the thing
thing now.
about Danny Marks. I just thought we used to talk cereals a lot.
Yes.
So
Still the Reese's Pieces one for me. That's still one of my go-to.
you
And
tried
in-
the Aldi brand.
That's the one I have.
Yeah.
I don't have the Reese's Pieces.
Nicer.
Man, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I haven't tried the like Biscoff rip-off ones yet.
I want a fan of them.
Oh, would you not?
No, I thought they were a bit.
Yeah.
Meh.
But it's just because I went through a stage of, can you remember when I used to get the Lion bar cereals and then...
I saw that in Sainsbury's.
Yeah,
the-
they are
that-
nice.
I ain't seen that in ages.
They are nice. It was always, if I wanted like a chocolate fix for my cheat day in the morning, it would always be like the Lion and then like Nesquik.
Yeah.
Like your brother loves Nesquik as well. But then when I changed to those from Aldi, it changed my life. Every time I want a chocolate fix in the morning, straight to them. And they're Moorish.
Yeah.
God, you can have a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know in like the American old films where they just get the box of cereal and just pour the milk in and just
I
sit.
could.
Absolutely, I could
So
do
that is
that.
what you do on your cheat day.
Yeah.
No, I just have bowl after bowl.
Yeah.
And then I regret my life because my mouth hurts.
Yeah.
I've seen it on TikTok. Someone cuts the front bit of the box off. They'll rip the bag open and they just pour it straight into the bag.
Yeah.
Use the box as a bowl.
Absolute trailer trash, fantastic.
Yeah.
I do remember being a kid, being on a train. I'm sure it was when my dad was studying in London and we'd get the train to him. I could be wrong, but I do remember having the breakfast cereal in their mini surprise boxes with the milk poured in and just eating it out of the box and drinking it out of the box.
Oh yeah, the little mini.
The little
I
variety.
saw,
They were great.
I saw a kid round about my age. Last time we would have went to like Skegness, Mablethorpe, same thing really. Just necking a box of Crave, like proper big family sized box of Crave, just handing it, just chucking it straight to the. You know what I thought? That's a good idea. That.
Eat like there's no one watching.
Yeah.
Well, when you're young, you can get away with eating like that.
Oh
can't you?
yeah, can't you? Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it because it creeps up.
Well, I'm autistic, so I eat the same shit
Yeah.
every day.
So another common thing we speak about, and another common thing we speak about, movies.
Movies. I'm a movie fiend, aren't I?
Yeah, I mean, we brought up on the Rogan episode how you put me off Step Brothers for a few weeks, a few months. But what are your favourite movies?
You know, if I had to narrow it down to a top 5 in no particular order, would be The Dark Knight, Batman, Christopher Nolan. The whole trilogy is like amazing. Gladiator, incredible film, and I really actually enjoyed the second one as well, which some people have give it a little bit of harsh criticism, but you're always comparing it to what came before it.
Yeah,
But
I've not seen the second one yet.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it's real good. The battle scenes are really good. Pulp Fiction is probably my all-time favourite.
Great film.
You know, I used to watch that when I was younger. It used to be this is a bit like your autism with your food. Every Sunday after a heavy drinking session on Saturday night, I would lay in bed and watch Pulp Fiction. When I was like 18, 19, just for some reason, that was just my comfort. Made me feel better on a Sunday morning. And I can recite that film from start to finish. I kid you not. And I'm sure you believe me.
Yeah,
I don't doubt
100%.
it in the slightest.
So it would definitely be those three. And then, you know, it's pretty tough on there because I watch so many films, don't I?
I was thinking Step Brothers would be mentioned
Yeah,
straight away, but
you know, I would say, Step Brothers would be in there. Just it's an all-time classic, isn't it? You can watch that so many times, and then, you know, possibly Interstellar. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No,
Matthew
I haven't.
McConaughey.
Yeah.
It's all about space-time travel.
Very
Wow,
good. Very good.
wow. See, I've got a shout out to Odeon. I've got a Limitless card, so it means you pay £15, maybe £16 a month. And you go to Odeon as many times as you want. Go to watch as many films. If you want to be a total film nerd and watch one film after another, you can do it. So if you're someone who likes films, it's worth the investment because it's about £15 now a ticket anyway in the cinema, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're paying a £1 extra. You get 10% off all your drinks and food as well. And we were at a loose end one day. And Interstellar were doing an anniversary, and they're on the Odeon. Thought, I've heard good stuff about it. Let's give it a try. Oh, also Top Gun Maverick would be in there as well, along with Interstellar. And so we just thought, let's go ahead and watch it, and just come out of cinema going, oh my god, that was unbelievable. Which was the same with Top Gun, because I wasn't sure if I was going to watch the new one because I thought it'd be just a rehash of the first one. Which first one is great, but. That's an insane film, Top Gun Maverick, isn't it?
Yeah,
incredible film.
And I've heard nothing but good things about it, but I'm yet to watch it.
Oh, you need to watch it. I
think all of them have been great.
Oh,
Like,
incredible.
The originals, the new.
Yeah,
It's fucking aeroplanes in it.
yeah, and
Even
obviously,
if it's with shit, it's still cool aeroplanes.
and obviously, me and you like airplanes. I mean, we have watched crap
went on a
airplane films
little-
like Hot Shots, which is garbage, but it's just planes.
You went on a little bromance date to see aeroplanes.
Went on a
didn't you?
mandate to see aeroplanes, yeah.
Yeah, we've got another few places on the list. to go as well.
Duxford, yeah, we have, yeah.
There's
Yeah.
even a dirty McDonald's right outside Schiphol Airport in Amsterdam.
Is
where you
there?
can sit.
Yeah,
I sent you it.
the wind.
Oh,
Is
we
it
should
the
go
window
for a
looks-
weekend.
Yeah.
It looks
in
straight into
Amsterdam
the
and then,
airport, doesn't
like,
it?
Cure the hangover by just sitting in the
Yeah,
McDonald's watching the
absolutely. Because I remember when we went to Holland, the McDonald's was a little bit different there, wasn't it? And it had, what was that sauce that we were all
Fruit sauce.
hooked? Oh, wow.
They
That
had
sauce.
Last time we went to Holland, they had fried shrimp. in
That's
McDonald's.
insane.
That's
That's
mental. I got they
insane.
weren't even that bad either.
Oh, did you have some?
Yeah,
Well done. Look at you venturing out.
I know, right?
Wow.
Something with a bit of flavour.
I bet you- I bet
Actually,
you're
it's McDonald's,
sweating.
didn't have a lot of
McDonald's.
flavour.
Well, Bet
It
you're
was mainly
sweating.
the batter, to be fair, but still.
Yeah, that was when you were in Rotterdam. You were getting right moody because you didn't know what we were going to eat, didn't you? Because we went round the big. I don't know if you've seen it. I probably have sent you it on TikTok or Instagram or something. Massive food hall in the centre of Amsterdam.
Yeah,
Rotterdam.
you sent me
Yeah.
video of it.
So we're walking around like looking at all this
All
glorious
food I
and he's
can't
like,
eat.
"Oh, it's all too tasty for me."
Wasted on him, innit?
Yeah.
Wasted.
Wasted on.
So such
I
an
can't help
uncultured
the way
peasant.
I was born. You're bullying me.
I'm
You-
just
you
saying you're
said
an
you can't-
uncultured
You just said you
peasant.
don't accept bullying. Now you're bullying me for my different ability.
Ability.
Inability.
Yeah.
Inability to accept flavour in your life.
I get bullied. Cancel him. Because I'm. What is it? Mental disorder? No, autism's not a mental disorder, is it? What is it?
I plead the fifth.
Neurodivergency.
Yeah, bullying me because of my.
Neurodiversity.
I can't say that word.
Because you're neurodiverse.
FFW Pro Wrestling and Fitness Centre is the training school for Fight Factory Wrestling UK. Based just off Doddington Road near the Birchwood in Lincoln. We offer wrestling training for both adults and children ages 8 years and upwards. We also offer personal training in one-to-one and group sessions. Run by a husband and wife team consisting of a level 3 personal trainer and wrestling coach and registered nurse, FFW has been helping people on their fitness journey and producing professional wrestlers since 2013. We focus on your holistic well-being and care with bespoke classes and personal training sessions to suit all. More details of this can be found on our website, fightfactorywrestling.com, or you can send us an email at linkswrestling@gmail.com to get more details.
Have you got any funny stories?
You'll be hearing from
Now, wrestling related doesn't necessarily mean it has to be while we were on a wrestling road trip. It can be involving wrestlers.
You're really trying to set him up for a specific story here, aren't
I'm
you?
just opening his horizons to what he can tell us.
Funny stories involving wrestlers. Yes.
I've got loads that involve you, so
Yeah. Oh, where would I be? What would be the beginning, middle, and end? I do not know. If I wanted to take it step up each time as well.
I mean, the first one could be having a wrestling match with a female wrestler, smashing her in the head with a shovel, making it bleed. Now all of a sudden you're in a relationship with her. She's probably never forgiven you for it.
No, but may I say that the shovel to the head was fully deserved, as I was taking cricket bat after cricket bat to the back, and also on the floor, so there was no give in between cricket bat, my body, and floor, and taking a constant pounding from the cricket bat. So yeah, the snow shovel to the head was a moment that brought us together. Intertwined us, like Spice Girls would say. That was where two became one, when I bust her open with a snow shovel.
Is that what dyed her hair red? Was it? Just the...
It was. That's why she dyed it red, because we'd go home and I'd bring out the snow shovel if tea wasn't cooked. Hey, kitchen wench, where's my tea?
I think we're cutting that.
Oh,
one.
if she was downstairs, she'd be up here.
For his safety, not even the
Yeah.
cancelability of it.
Oh,
He'll get smothered with a pillow tonight.
other funny stories. See, one that just keeps popping in my head because we're talking about Amsterdam is when we was on a train from, I believe, Rotterdam to Amsterdam, and there's if you're anything to do with wrestling, there's just a code where you just do not fall asleep amongst other wrestlers, or you're going to pay a price of some sort. And so a certain person fell asleep and woke up with inexplicable drawings on his face
in Sharpie.
And he was that out of it when he just had no idea. And I mean, I think we'd been winding him up a lot all day, and I think this tipped him over the edge, didn't it?
Yeah.
He didn't see the funny side
Not at all.
I mean, we were crying, but yeah, he did not see the funny side. Also in Amsterdam, I remember us going to a Mario escape room.
Yeah.
And I fell asleep.
Why did you fall asleep?
Just jet lag, I think.
We went on a ferry. It's only an hour away.
Just ferry lag.
Only an hour away.
in
on
time
the
difference.
ferry?
In
Time difference. It was 8 hours, I believe, wasn't it? Ferry.
It was an overnight, wasn't it?
Yeah, because the man sitting over there, your father, chokeslammed me on the casino floor, which was solid, may I ask. But it was my spot that was called, wasn't it? When we were just chatting, and I went.
Oh, there's a spider on my microphone. Do you want to get that?
That's only that one.
I did say, deliver a chokeslam to me. I'll take a chokeslam, and we
it was
proceeded.
the look on security's face, and this is where my memory gets a little hazy because of that whole bottle of Jack.
Yeah,
but like security came over, saw us all, and went.
Yeah.
Walked away.
Yeah.
I'm getting a picture of this spider.
Yeah, it was a good moment. But yeah, so I was asleep on a jukebox, and I think you had gone through a few stages. You guys had passed a few stages of the escape room. Now I'm awful at escape rooms. I cannot go if there's a small group in an escape room because we'll never get out. So I need to go with a big group because I need people to rely on to solve the puzzles.
Yeah.
So I fell asleep on this jukebox for quite a long time, I think, wasn't it?
It was a significant amount
of time. It
was.
was.
Considering you were in there for an hour, I think it was about 20 minutes.
Yeah. And for some reason, I had an epiphany. I kind of was half awake and started hearing you guys trying to hash
arguing
this.
about what the answer
Yeah,
was.
he's
None
trying
of
to
us
hash
could
it
get
out.
right.
And I woke up and I was like, you lot are morons, it's this. And you was like, come off it, tried it, passed. And then I went back to sleep on the...
slumped over the machine.
I went back to sleep on the jukebox for the rest of the time. Yeah. Yeah, I remember that. There's just been so many. There's been so many funny things even happen in the gym during training, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know, with the King's kip up.
Context.
Do you want to do it? So we was in training, and I don't know why you was videoing. I had done a sequence, maybe practice a sequence.
Wasn't it a warm up?
Was it warm up? I don't know why.
We were about to go into some drills, so I started recording.
Right.
We were about to
Okay.
do some drills, so we.
Yeah. So I did the King's kip up and something came out as I was kipping up. It wasn't a burp.
It wasn't just a fart either, was it?
It wasn't just a fart, but it was immediate. Oh my goodness, I need to go home. And I think you were out of commission for about 20 minutes after
dying.
that.
I couldn't believe that after doing a kip up, you just absolutely shit yourself. Like, I'm not going to be polite about it.
It was as I was in the air as well, so you know I had no control over that.
That's 2 clips that are getting cut together right there on your little blooper reel. You just shit yourself. I had no control over that.
I wouldn't be able to find the video.
No, not the actual video of it, but for your blooper reel that you always do. You're going to cut everything out of context. Those 2 are getting whammed together.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just been so many. I mean, even in matches, you know, there's been a lot of funny things in matches. There's been so many funny things in our matches.
Yeah.
It's just all the little things that you'll call between each other while you're fucking about in the middle of a match that never gets heard by the audience.
Yeah.
So many little things. He chats about Nando's all the time.
They wouldn't know about the fucking around.
Yeah.
Like they do because we're talking about it, but it's hidden because it's just something.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's all them little jokes that can pop up
Little
from
one-liners.
matches.
Yeah, I say a lot.
I'm pretty sure you've recited Step Brothers during a match once.
Absolutely, absolutely. I've said a lot. I remember Eliza Rue, who I think this was probably after the snow shovel, so two had already become one. But I remember she had powerbombed me off the top turnbuckle, and she was like, "Kick out too." I was like, "Make me." And so I think she forced a kick out. There's been, I remember whipping you into a corner many times and then going into the corner and being like, "God, you smell fantastic." And, just trying to make people just crack, just make them break the character. I'm a stickler for hitting people in the nuts as well. And, when they're on the ground and I'm getting up, I'll push off the nuts, do little stuff like that. Yeah.
Fiend.
Have
you got any other stories you'd want to tell an audience around wrestling, around football? Anything that they can get to know you outside of wrestling? Yeah, absolutely anything.
Me outside of wrestling. I would say, my character is quite outlandish. My character is quite out there. But really, it's only me just...
Only ever so slightly turned up.
Only ever so
I
slightly.
wouldn't even say a lot.
Yeah, just...
It's not even turned up. It's just slightly moved to the left.
Yeah, it's me, but huger. And
Huger.
way more elaborate, way more...
Until you've had a drink and then it's just you.
And then I pretty much turn into the king when I've had a drink, So I think that's why it comes quite easy to me, because I always say to people, like, try not to veer away too much. Sometimes there's need for it. But, when people are transitioning from, good to bad, still try and be true to yourself. You've got to try and meet somewhere in the middle. So if you look at my character previously to now, I'm still doing the same kind of things. I'm still saying how beautiful I am. I'm still bigging myself up. I'm still putting that funny stuff on up there, which I was doing as bad before. Because if I was to change instantly, I think you'd lose the crowd. So me just out. I'm kind of the same outside of wrestling. I like having fun. Work only becomes work when you're not having fun. Wrestling, anyone who's doing wrestling, I only do wrestling as a hobby. I never went into this business to think, I've got to get here, I need to be here by this age, I need to be here by this age. I want to tour all around. I did, but I only did it with my friends. I only did it with you and Kieran, people like that, because that was my aim. And it's I was never disrespectful for it. I never thought, right, I'm only doing this as a hobby, so I don't care. I put the graft in outside. I sculpted my body to be a certain way, and I never really did it to promote myself. But if eyes are on me, eyes are on the company, people will come in here. It doesn't matter to me if I've never come into this making money. Anytime I sell merchandise, I've give it back to the company. I don't take any payments. I don't take any payments when I'm, going outside bookings. I will give it back to the company. And that's...
It used to blow my mind. And at one point, I think I said this to you, it frustrated me because so many people were interested in using you. Like,
yeah,
are you going? Are you going? I'm not interested.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, like... Some people would cut their arm off for some of these people, and for you, it's just like, no, I just want to have fun with my friends.
Yeah.
Which I think now, I look at it, I'm like, that is the coolest way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because the journey is so much fun.
It is. There's no... The only time I put pressure on myself is when I want you guys to look good. So if I'm not putting butts in seats... why am I in this company? What's the point in you putting me on shows? And, I think that's one of the reasons I don't take payments, because I came into this as a hobby, so I didn't know if I was going to take to it or anything. I didn't know if I was going to be any good, you know, if I was totally bomb. I just gave it a go. So in my mind, you put me on a show was you thanking me for the hard work I'm doing promoting the company, the hard work I'm doing in the gym, and the hard work I'm doing in the gym in my own time. So why did I need payment? And that's because I was coming in with a different mindset. You know, like, say when I was in my football days, someone picking me in the first team was to say, congratulations on how hard you've been working and training and how much you've improved. This is the thanks. And that was the same for me. That was thanks enough. I didn't need anything else.
It's the trust to run with the ball, literally.
Because that is, and you know,
well, essentially, like, the way it works here is we have the external guys who would come in, but it's not the WWE.
No.
It's not AEW. It's not NWA. We are a training school, essentially promoting shows for guys who have trained here and people who can bring them up from other places, and it's got a lot of similarities to grassroots football. And
absolutely,
you know, like there are so many, but again, it's a business, and some people, you know, think they're bigger than what they are, and think, and again, I'm all for, if you think this is your worth, that is your worth. Some people don't like it when, like yourself, you say you don't want a payment. Some people think that's disrespectful for the business.
Yeah,
it's each to their own.
Yeah,
you know, everybody's. We're all in it for the same reason. We all want to do it. We all want to have fun with it. We all want to go where we want to go, and goals are different for everybody. You know, I don't know why there's so much hate in them different perspectives of it.
I don't think anyone's fallen into wrestling because they've got nothing else to do.
No,
it's not like an office job or working at co-op.
No, it's dangerous. You're still putting your body on the line, and you know, I always had to tread that fine line, especially my first couple of years, because everyone was like yourself was saying, like, why are you doing all these crazy outlandish videos? You know, why are you going around doing all the postering every weekend, like on your days off? Like, why are you then coaching for free? Why are you only wanting to travel with them? What's the point in sculpting your body and, you know, doing all that, spending all that money on, you know, your equipment and that? And it's pure and simply because I enjoyed it.
It's your hyper-focus for your ADHD.
I don't know what you mean, sir. But, you know, I enjoyed it. I grew up watching wrestling. I broke so many sofas, as I'm sure loads of people have in here from wrestling. You know, I remember once I busted my sister's nose because she had a wasp nest in her bedroom, so she had to sleep in my bedroom. She was asleep on the mattress on the floor. I thought it'd be a good idea to climb on the window ledge and deliver an elbow. Oh. And instead of doing it to a shoulder, I did it to a nose and popped a nose. You know, I used to wrestle in my back garden, getting thrown around on the floor. I was taking bumps on the on the grass. It's something I love to do. So, you know, I
don't think I ever broke anything, did I?
I don't remember you breaking anything.
No. I broke unsafe work. I broke a lot. So, you know, but I had to tread that fine line of not disrespecting, because it could have looked easy for me to be disrespectful. Like, what's the point in you being in here if you're not? You know, everyone would say, if you're not wanting to make it to the top, why are you here? It was just for enjoyment, you know. And I was seeing how much work you and Becca were putting in front of house and behind the scenes. And, you know, I created this bond with you guys as a family, and I just wanted to give back. That's all. I just wanted to give back.
There's another similarity to grassroots football or to just sport, right? Like, if you go, let's go for a kick around. Okay, it's been probably 10 years since I've had a kick around, right? But you don't go, right, who's paying me?
Yeah.
Like in a kick around, and no one gets pissy about that because you're with your mates having fun. So again, it's the way of everyone's perception of what they're doing, isn't it? Like,
and I just think it was because a lot of people who do, you know, walk through this gym door and every other wrestling school are wanting to make it somewhere. I was 28 or 29, maybe probably about 28 when I started. So in my mind, I was getting on a bit, you know, it's a young man's game. And, you know, like I said, I just wanted to do it for enjoyment. I didn't come in with the mindset of making money, you know, and like now I'm living the dream of it. Like, I enjoy it. There's no pressure on me to be traveling here, there, and everywhere on my days off, which again, if you're wanting to make it as a business, is something you have to do. But because I'm not, I don't have to travel here, there, and everywhere unless, you know, someone wants to book me and I choose to, and that will only be if I'm doing it with my friends. In my mind, it's not a waste of time. It's a good target for me. Like, I can't just sit on the couch, but standing in front of hundreds of people in tiny trunks is a hell of a motivator to go to the gym, let me tell you. And that's a great motivation for me.
Especially if you get them trunks made a little bit too small.
Exactly. But now they're perfect, like a dream. So, you know, I've only ever gone into it with a hobby, and that's no disrespect to the business. I love the business as a whole, and I appreciate what everyone does throughout the business. But I get to be away from the politics side of it as well. And I get to just enjoy what I'm doing. And you can see that when I'm in the ring.
Yeah.
You can see that when I interact with the crowd. You can see that when I come out with my entrance. You can see that when I'm training. You can see that when I'm coaching. There's no pressure on my shoulders.
When we did the little behind the scenes things with you, I had so much more footage.
Yeah.
Like little things I was recording while you weren't watching, and then speaking to your missus and all these little. Oh, you've already mentioned who she is, so I don't mind. You know, like speaking to Eliza, like and loads of little things. But I made so many mistakes because I was learning the microphones. I lost all the sound footage, so that's why it was so short.
Yeah.
But like, you could see the minute you burst through that curtain, like it was like, yeah, he's missed that. And then when you came back, the only way I can describe it was like an excited school kid.
It was, and that's what all my friends who came to watch me, and you know, Eliza herself said that she was getting emotional herself. She said because she could just see that I'm doing what I love, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing what I love without any pressure. You know, if you want to go for the top, you go for it. But I'm just doing what I love and wanting to make money for you, not for me, for the business. And if I can do that alongside of doing something I love, then it's win-win for everyone.
Yeah. It's, again, everyone's their own opinion, but as long as you're happy doing it, I think doesn't matter.
No,
you know, we're all
not.
like, I don't know if it's an age thing. Maybe you get to the thing where you just want to have fun.
Maybe, but I mean, even when I started, like I said, I never came into that. You know, I dabbled a little bit, but I thought, you know, it's not for me traveling around everywhere, and you know, with my time off, I just want to do it for an enjoyment. And you know, now I'm enjoying pushing other people, and I'm enjoying seeing like the likes of Aryan and, you know, people I coach coming up, going and taking the reins and stuff like that. And like, I'm just here for the ride.
Which is a nice segue into any advice you might have for anyone wanting to get into wrestling, or anyone who's involved but wanting to sort of progress themselves. Any sort of advice you might have.
So one piece of advice, I would say train with as many people as you can possible. And that just doesn't mean experience. I've learned probably just as much training with or working with unexperienced people as I have experienced people. Because if you're with an experienced person and the match breaks down, they can carry you through it. If you're working with an inexperienced and the match breaks down, now what? You're up a creek without a paddle, and then one of you's got to take the reins, and it's usually the more experienced. So if you're 2 years in and you start working with less experienced people and you're calling everything, good, because there's going to be a point in a match where both of you forget what's happening, and then you've got to call it on the fly. And sometimes that can be the hardest thing, because you're beating yourself up that you forgot about it. They're beating themselves up that forgot about it. They might be a flappy character who is just panic and their now head is gone. You've got to be the calm one in there, and you've got to pick the ball up, and you've got to do it right. And the only time it's a mistake is if they know it's a mistake. So you can learn just as much by working with unexperienced people as experienced people. And like I said from the outset, put the road work in on the outside. If you're doing it as a hobby, then maybe not so much, but still you are representing a company. You are representing a professional company that is there to make money. Why are they going to put you on the poster if you don't look a certain way? In my mind, perception is everything. If you want to look like you can go in there and hurt someone, you've got to put the work in. You've got to look a certain way. And whether that's social media or whether it's, the 80s films of Sylvester Stallone and Arnie coming up, people who are in action look a certain way. And like I say, perception is everything. And if you're wanting to make money out of it, people look at that before anything. People can't go on Instagram picture and be like, oh yeah, I can see just what his character and personality is from that. They will see a silhouette of you, and you will be judged on that.
So just to reiterate, because I know what some people on the internet can be like, and if then people are watching, you're not saying everyone needs to look like a bodybuilder. It's the presence you bring. It's the whole package, isn't it?
Yeah.
The old airport test, as the Americans called it, or I call it when you go postering in a pub. Do people want to fuck you or fight you?
Exactly. Yeah.
The amount of times where you walk in and people are like, oh shit, let's not fuck with this guy. That's...
There you go.
Yeah.
And if you're 6'5", you're already halfway there in this business.
Bastards.
Yeah. If you're naturally huge, you're already there. If you're a heavy guy, you're already halfway there. Because people still love heavyweight boxing because anything can happen because of their size. Now, that don't mean they have to be ripped to shreds, but anything can happen because of their size. Also in wrestling.
Look at Butterbean back in the day.
Look at Butterbean. Absolute knockout artist.
Yeah.
So I'd say give the company a reason to put you on a show. Now, whether that is your look or predominantly that's your character, give them a reason. You can't walk into a gym and be silent and do the bare minimum inside and outside, and then kick up a stink if you're not on a show. And especially in your first few years, you got to pay your dues, and that's coming early, shaking everyone's hand, which is etiquette, saying hello to everyone, introducing yourself to everyone. Especially if you're on an outside booking, don't just stand there and not talk to the promoter of the business, because then they're going to forget you in a heartbeat. They work with so many people. You need to give them a reason to remember you, and whether even that's just because, oh wow, he come across really polite. Someone's backed out, would you like to come into this rumble? You seem the sound guy. Yeah, go on then. And then you showcase what you can really do. Go around, do the postering. That's a reason to get people to come and see you. If you're doing it as a selfish way, if you're putting out posters and more people coming to the show, they're going to see your character. Then they're going to follow you on social media. Then they're going to want to see your outside bookings. So even if you're not doing it predominantly for the company, it will still work towards you. So they're probably the main three, which is pay your dues, help with the ring setup, help with the ring pat down, help with the tech, be one of the first there and be one of the last, especially be a team player, especially early on, and get to know people outside of the gym as well. It can help a lot when you're then working them in the ring. Put the work in inside the gym and outside. Get your reps in, get your bumps in, take the injuries, take the hits, and then go and do it outside of the gym as well. And just be willing to learn from everyone, whether they're high up or they're low down. Everyone can bring something different.
Schools, different coaches,
absolutely,
different wrestlers.
Go to as many seminars as you can.
So many people.
Yeah,
and you can learn from your audience. You can learn from your referees. I learned loads from a referee in one match once. Just about positioning.
I mean,
I thought my positioning was good, and he was like, "No, look at your audience. They're all over there, dickhead."
Yeah,
like Mal Mason, for example, as a ref. He was good.
He used to check my attitude a couple of times.
Yeah, he was very good.
Next segment is the viewers' questions, which is down to You?
I think it's the first thing I've said in about 20 minutes on this, to be honest, 'cause I've just been listening to him blabber on. So there's some there, and then there's one here. Am I reading out names and everything, or just...
Just a question. Sorry, I need a drink.
Right.
It's like
So,
100 degrees in here.
Yep.
first question, this is from Instagram. Not from the company Instagram, it's on
Yeah,
Instagram.
sent it.
Yeah. Question for the king. Excluding yourself, who's the best looking wrestler in FFW?
Now, the reason we're not going to mention the name is because I think you want his butt cheeks buttering.
Oh, really? Who is the best looking? What, in FFW? Damien Valentine.
Apart from you, is the question.
The righteous one.
Have you got multiple personality disorders there? Sure, yeah, okay.
The king sees no one but himself. And whether that's himself here or
You're a
in
good
the
guy,
reflection
you're
of
a
a
good guy.
mirror.
Remember, you're a good guy, you're a good guy.
It's still true.
Okay. Right, what's next? How did you come up with the idea for the king?
A lot was on the inspiration of William Regal. He was one I took it from. A little bit of King Booker. After he won King of the Ring. And I would say between them two, if you look back when I first started, and you know the way I used to walk, I used to have my hand like this, and you shake my head a lot. That was a lot of William Regal mannerisms of how he used to act, and you know the all English.
It starts as emulating, but then you find your own way, don't you?
Absolutely, yeah. So they were my first inspirations, and also he's probably been blackballed now, but Velveteen Dream.
He was very good.
As you could probably see again from my mannerisms and the way I'd conduct myself. Those three were my inspirations for my character, but then it just quickly took a mind of its own, and it's just kept going like a steam train from them. Really, just took a mind of its own and kind of moved away from there and just made it Damien Valentine.
We have a few more viewer questions, but we've already touched on them answer-wise, and I think that whole blackball thing's a very good segue for our next bit. If we just
What are the other questions?
We've got how did you get into wrestling, and then we'll just skip that one entirely.
No, let's read that one.
Oh, God's
Go on,
sake.
do it.
Right. What does the winner of an arm wrestle get on a ferry from Harwich?
Who asked that?
The winner of an arm wrestle get on a ferry from Harwich to the Hook of Holland.
Who asked that?
I plead the fifth.
Well, the winner or the loser?
The winner.
Because
What does the winner get?
the winner gets his crown jewels held, and the loser has to hold the crown jewels.
Oh dear.
Anyway, next question. How did you get into wrestling?
So yeah, I think we did touch on it before. I always had to. I don't know if even you know what these are. VHS.
Of course
I've
I know
got a
what
couple
VHS
downstairs.
Of course
Yeah.
I know what a VHS
Yeah.
tape is.
So I used to get a lot of them wrestling. A lot of, and I used to watch WCW, which was on Channel 5 Monday Night Nitro as well. And then when I would go to my nan's, they had Sky, and it was on Sky Sports 1 a lot, I think, back then. So I'd watch them, and I was just enamored with the character and the grandness of them. Just a whole spectacle. Back then was cameras flashing everywhere before cell phones.
God, wrestling. I think wrestling crowds really miss the flash cameras that go off.
I do.
I think you look at so many important and memorable moments from the Attitude Era, your Ruthless Aggression era. All of them have the cameras flashing in the crowd. It just looks incredible. You don't get that anymore.
Even when I think back to the N64 WWF games, like you would go to do a finisher on someone, and you would just see
All
loads
the
of flashes
flash
at
photography had come up.
the back.
Have you
And
noticed they've done that at one of the arenas now? They've got like lights.
The one in
the
LA
seats.
has the little LEDs and like the stairs
Yes,
and the
So
yeah.
now
stairs,
they
but it's
flash
not.
at certain
It's not
times.
the
It doesn't look
same.
the same.
no,
but
but it's
Do you
still
like you
good.
think of moments like Eddie Guerrero when he did the frog splash off the top of the cage, the flash photography. Brock Lesnar in his match with Kurt Angle when he did the shooting
Yeah.
star.
See, what goes in my mind is Edge when he did the spear from the top of the ladder, because he's at crowd
For the belt,
height.
wasn't it?
Yeah, because he's at crowd height. All you can see is those
Flash
flashes, and
photography. It needs to come back.
Yeah.
They need to incorporate that somewhere.
it was
cool.
great, and it was just so grand, and
It made big moments bigger.
yeah, it did. And the entrances were huge, and so I used to start buying the little, like, I had a WCW Nitro ring
Yeah.
with the figures, and it had the entrance way and all that, and I used to play with them. I used to wake up early, play with them, and
He still does.
still do. I remember once I was talking to it with my mother the other day, that she grounded me once. I only ever got grounded once. She grounded me once, and so I got like my Sega Mega Drive. This would have been back in the day.
Mega Drive was so good.
Oh, it's so good. I got that taken off me, so I just made like loads of little mini wrestling belts, and because I had like a Sting figure, when he was a red face paint,
Yeah.
and I had like the Undertaker
What was it?
and
What were they?
Wolfpack.
Wolfpack.
yeah, when he's part of the Wolfpack, and just made loads of like belts, and it was always wrestling and football, and I had my like football career. I only made it like Lincoln United, but then snapped my Achilles tendon in half. So that was done, and then I did boxing for years and karate for years. But I always wanted to give wrestling a go, and I did a bit in Grimsby many years ago with Will Jackson, but there wasn't really anything here. And then as soon as I heard, because I remember the first time I see you, Hayden, was because it was when I was fighting for FFW when you were at their gym. And
For Fight Factory.
Yeah. And you would
That
always
doesn't separate it anymore from.
No, Lincoln Fight Factory.
Lincoln Fight Factory.
Kickboxing, boxing.
Yeah.
Gym, yeah.
And you would always be there after our boxing session, always waiting to set up and that. And I remember asking Sean Burton, who is that? And he's like, oh, it's all the wrestling and that. And I was like, there's actually a wrestling school. Oh my God. And I remember messaging you the first time and like saying, I'm going to have one more fight and then I'd like to start wrestling. And he was like, yeah, sure, come down. And I was like, am I going to be garbage at this? But yeah. And then so I thought, let's just give it a crack. It's now or never really before I get too old. And the rest, as I say, is history from there. I think 5 months in and we had our first match.
An over 18 show.
Yeah, I was the first.
What a way to get thrown in at the deep.
I was the quickest to do it, wasn't I?
Yeah.
5 month turnaround from my first training session to being on the under 18s.
I remember right before we went out the curtain, I went,
no veins.
don't worry about forgetting everything. Forget everything.
Yeah.
Just listen to your audience.
Yeah.
And you took that to the extreme.
We did nothing until we got a 5-minute call. We had not done one thing because we were just working the crowd, weren't we? Working the hell out of the crowd.
You were in your element.
Yeah.
Just every time they gave you something, you're like, right, I remember he said, work the crowd, fuck it.
Yeah.
Straight back on him.
They were so hot, weren't they? And, with every interaction we were given, they were getting hotter and hotter and hotter. And, then I did the fake trip spot.
Yeah, you missed that and then did it a second later.
Yeah, because I took the bump even though he was nowhere near me to trip me, but blamed him on tripping, and that just got the crowd going crazy. And then me and Hayden got the 5-minute home till home, and was wow, best start doing something then, haven't we? So we had to cut a heck of a lot out, didn't we? Yeah, it's a match I'll never forget. I did everything in that one night. I did my first match. I'd done my first entrance. I had my gear for the first time. I took the microphone off the singers and did my first promo. Fell into the crowd at the end. It was a match I'll never forget, that one.
Yeah, a lot of fun. I've watched it fairly recently.
Do you know what? Thinking of favourite matches and matches you'll never forget. We'll move on to your personal Hall of Fame. It can be a moment, it could be wrestling, not wrestling, it could be a person.
Just if you had a Hall of Fame of your life, anything that you could put in there, a person and a moment, or people and group of people and a moment, you get 2 things to put in.
I get 2 things to put in.
So it's people or person and moment. From wrestling, from real life, from anything.
So I'd say from here, from wrestling, I would say it would be between when my mum first came to watch me, and I never forget her reaction. How into it she was. I remember seeing her in the crowd and how into it she was. But at first, how shocked she was because I was so different. And then when she came back, I remember because you were there as well, and she came back at the curtain, she's like, I can't believe that was you. She was like, I don't know what I expected, but I did not expect that. She was like, you were totally different. She was like, you was incredible. I can't believe it. And like, I could see how hyped she was and like how excited for me she was. That was a special moment.
And that's another thing, like when people say about wrestling and it's the moments, it's not just the moments for the audience, it's the moments that sometimes we are in.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know another way to word that. It's just these things happen, you're like, you don't realise until afterwards, you're like, that's cool as fuck.
Yeah. You know, and I think it was only like on our first match, a lot of people come to you and be like, oh, what company did you get Valentine from? And, you know, and Bram coming back to me backstage and saying, you know, I never thought that was your first match, and, you know, commenting on my physique and stuff like that, and saying you've got a big career here and stuff like that, because it was so blurry in that moment.
Yeah, one of the sponsors at the time did not believe that it was your first match.
Yeah.
They were literally saying, come on, where's he from?
Yeah. And, you know, that was a thing, like you say, because I was seeing it so much, it wasn't till I looked back, I was like, yeah, you know, that was pretty awesome. That was some good feedback for a first match. So I'd say the mum and my comeback, there was just so many pieces of that puzzle. It just all linked into one perfect moment, my comeback. You know, I was working with one of my best ever mates. I was back in a company I love. I was back with so many long time friends, and like, you know, what I consider as a family. Didn't realise how much I needed this back in my life until I was back in it. You know, Eliza coming to see me and her glowing up and being like, I just see the real you when you're out there. You know, it's not the real me, but it is my emotions, you know, the way I'm feeling in it, you know, how hyped I am.
When you know that's you. Like, because it's hard to explain.
Yeah,
isn't it? It's so weird,
and that's why my character comes out so easy in training, because I'm in that moment, and you know, that's the love of it coming out. That's just me projecting how much I'm enjoying myself. Huh?
Love of the game, brother.
Yeah, exactly. Love of the game.
But you can't fake that.
No, you can't fake that. No, you can't. And, you know, all my friends who hadn't seen that side of me, being like, that was incredible. I can't believe that was you. You was absolutely amazing. And just saying, I've never seen you in your element that much. And, you know, they've known me for years and never seen me like that.
In training, before you came back, I was saying to people that you're one of the people that I use as an example in this. There is an element of what we do that is acting. Yeah. Yeah, and so many people, it's all acting, it's all fake. No, there's a small element of acting. Yeah. A very small. When you're pretty good at this, you react. And it's because it's, in that moment, it's real. Yeah. You know, and I think you react.
I do.
And you can see it's you. Yeah. And then a bit of that act is the volume being turned up.
Absolutely, which is why, like, a lot of people are like, oh, you know, your ad-libbing is so good, and the way you interact with the crowd, like, you just react quickly. That's because I'm not having to think, what would my character say?
Yeah, you're not acting.
That's me in that moment. I'm not thinking about it. It's just me in that moment, really.
Next moment is blackballing, then.
Yeah. What would you blackball from life? Wrestling, non-wrestling, doesn't matter. just a thing you can get rid of. Can be serious, can be silly.
Can be serious, can be... What would I get rid of?
Oh, God.
What would I get rid of? Bring back kitchen wenches. Miss Eliza Rue, where are you now? Are you cooking? Do I need to get the snow shovel?
Yeah, but what are you getting rid of?
What can you get rid of that we can put on the podcast?
We can put that on. She's only going to be the one slapping him.
What would I... I would get... Well, touching on the M&M Peanut Dum Jason Morgan, I would get rid of bullying. I would get rid of bullying as a whole. Me personally, I was never bullied at school, but I did used to take the stance I'm taking now, which is I used to fight the bullies. Win, lose or draw, I used to fight the bullies because in my eyes, a bully is a coward. A bully will never go up to someone bigger than them, stronger than them, a better fighter than them, and bully them because it's not worth their time. They're only going to lose. A bully does something that is a guaranteed win, inflates their ego, and makes that person feel garbage. And normally they're projecting how they feel onto them. And it can affect a lot of people negatively during that time, but also later on in life, and can lead to a lot of insecurities and, a lot of people being outcast. So yeah, probably bullying, but it's always going to exist. I think it's just impossible to monitor.
I think on the flip side of it, and this isn't condoning bullying before anybody gets soft about it. No, but there's a point to it. Some people who have been bullied have used that as fuel to better their lives.
Absolutely.
So, I'm not saying we need bullies to make people better or tougher or anything, but if you got rid of it, would some people have found their place in life? No. Do you know what I mean?
No, I agree. I think everyone has choices how they react to something. So this will touch on something that it is my personal life, and but not a lot of people know. But my background, my growing up as my home life wasn't great. Father figure in a lot of trouble, may I say. And now a lot of people might choose a bad upbringing as an excuse to go out, do drugs, do alcohol, commit crimes. Well, my family did it, so it's a carousel. It just rotates, and then their kids will do it, and their kids will do it. So I could have gone down that route easy. I was nearly in it, but actually I thought I want to be different. I looked at who was meant to be the figure, who was meant to be the role model, and thought, actually, I want to be different to that, because what's the point in being the same? When you're in a field, why do you want to blend in? Why not stand out? So I thought, actually, I'm going to take a different stance here, and I'm going to be my own person, and I'm going to show mental toughness, and I'm going to go the opposite way. Yeah, it was harder. It would have been easier to slip in the other way, but it wouldn't have benefited me in life. So I went the opposite way and, made something of myself, and something, you can be proud of. So I think, yeah, absolutely, I agree. It's how you... Sometimes it might not feel like a choice, but you've got steps to help you to make that choice.
In an ideal world, you got rid of bullying and everyone would find their place anyway. So
yeah,
the answer's still right. It's just
it lies somewhere in the middle.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
And then the last thing before we wrap it up is anything you'd like to plug.
Anything I would like to plug.
Yep.
So
and anybody you train in, we might get a thing of plug your ass because your farts are horrendous. Anything you'd like to physically plug?
Just FFW as a whole, because it's tough in today's society for local wrestling to really make an impact. Again, I'll link it to football. You can have a club who were at the time no good, Man City, get loads of money, and then can bring in who they want. You know, that can happen in wrestling. You can be a company starting up from nothing, but you've got a heck of a lot of money behind you. So then already you've got the best training facilities, you've got the best coaches money can buy, and you've got the best workers around the UK or outside the UK. But you might not have never done anything yet. You might not have even, done any training sessions, but you've got everyone on board. Guess what? People are going to flock. So it's so hard for then the smaller local ones to bring in those crowds because they might not have the names. But the names aren't everything. Trust me when I say the names aren't everything. And the amount of people, I myself, because I was quite a minority in my friendship group, as in how much I was into wrestling. So then my friends growing up and my family who come to watch it were never really into wrestling. Might have fleeted with it a bit, followed a bit of Austin and Rock, as, every man and his dog did. But then when they've come to watch me at FFW, we'll probably come in with a certain mindset, and then they always walk out saying, that was amazing. Like, I loved not just your match, I loved the whole show and the whole production and, the whole spectacle. It's just happened recent when I come back and people have never seen a show, but because I'm there, they've been encouraged to come watch it. And now, even if I'm not on a show, they're going to watch it with their kids, There's a few in Gainsborough who go to watch it all the time, even if I'm not on the show. So they're not just coming for me. So, like, linking back to earlier, I've done my part. They came to watch me initially, but now they're invested in the company. Now they're part of the FFW fan interaction page. Now they're watching the YouTubes. Now they're watching the Instagrams. They're following the stories. They know what's happening. I'm seeing them out, and they're like, oh, that microphone, he was giving it some money, and like, I love that match. And what was it? Someone said to me on the last match, how much they loved the recent Rogan and how much they love Malika's match. And I was like, God, that Malika can take a hit, can't she? She was getting battered from Romanov, but still coming back. Both of them were still coming back from Romanov. And he was like, every time I was like wincing, and, he's invested. He wasn't just invested in me, he's invested in the product, he's invested in the company. So just give him a try. We're not expensive, I
think that's a lot, like, again, not to just plug here, there's a lot of British wrestling out there that's overlooked. And I shared something the other day. Someone said about Progress,
right?
How they wanted to go to WWE. The ticket prices for them were disgusting. So they went to Progress not expecting much, and they had a whale of a time. They got invested in everything. There's so much good wrestling out there if you're a fan, and the British companies need the support more than the WWE. And that's not to say boycott WWE at all, or AEW or any of them. If you like it and you can afford it, go to what you can afford to go to, enjoy it, and just to steal something from Stu World Order, leave your inhibitions at the door and go and be a fan of wrestling. Yeah. But you can have just as much of a good time at a UK indie show than you can at WWE, and chances are you're going to get more interaction with the wrestlers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the crowds are so close. They're so close to the ring, you're going to get some interaction from one of them at some point. And it's just such a, good family event because, what are you looking like? £30-odd to take them bowling that lasts 20 minutes. We've got, a 2-hour show for a lot cheaper, and you're in it. You're in it with them. You're enjoying everything. You're along for the roller coaster ride, all the ups and downs. And I can guarantee that they'll go home and then they'll start watching wrestling on the TV, and they're getting hooked before they know it. But it's that initial, I find, which is the hardest bit. I think once they're it, especially here, because of how much of a family we are, and how much we have with the crowd interaction, how much like we'll put the promotional videos out there, and how much the fans feel part of us. That once they're in, they're in. But it's that initial. So just give them a try, especially with summer holidays coming up, like the camp shows. How many, when me and you were working on that camp shows, were probably wrestling fans percentage?
15 of that.
How much was they into it by the end by our tag match at the end? Insane. The noise was insane, and they were hooked on everything. Like all of us, every single one of us there had them there in the palm of the hand. But it's just getting them in the seats initially, I think.
Yeah.
So what have you got to lose? Give it a go.
Freebie at Booton Park.
Is that
July
back?
13th.
Yeah.
There you go.
So as long as the weather holds up,
Yeah.
come watch it for free.
Yeah.
It won't be exactly the same as the main show because there won't be the
Stakes
pyro,
of
the
it,
staging, and
And
all
the
that sort of
stories,
stuff.
but
And the main stories, it'll just be a couple of the matches, but it gives you a little taste of what's there.
And that's a good way to wrap it up, I think.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you wrap it up then.
Well, what points are we wrapping up on? I think.
Say thank you.
Well, thank you, Mister.
huzzah! You're
Huzzah.
welcome, good sir.
Are you gonna thank him as well?
I'm going to leave you to wrap it up. And
Leave
then,
me to wrap it up.
Yeah, he's coming to ask for a barbecue.
Yeah, wrap it up. Rap from Just Bake It was good. There's a wrap, and yeah, I've plugged it twice now. Goodbye.
Don't forget to leave reviews.
You said that already.
Yeah, I know, but you've got to keep it in people's heads.
Yeah, but we don't want to be begging it.
Amazon, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, reviews, 5 stars, shares, all that other stuff.
Like, subscribe, whatever.
Thanks very much.
Adios.
See you soon.